Going to be hard to go past him. Looking at his international record, as well as his domestic and his IPL record.
You know that Dave Warner wasn't nominated in any three of the categories for the Player of the Decade. Overall, they've got a Player of the Decade, and then in the three formats,
Warner would be
scored a lot more runs than a lot of the people that were nominated.
So Dave Warner in one day cricket.
Finch on strike to Milne. Again, short outside off stump. He's defending into the offside. Sam's allowed to throw, and it hits Finch at the non-striker's end. So he wears one, the Renegade skipper, but he's off the mark.
Well, they started with an 8 in the first over. It hit him just by the knee. That's not ideal.
It's not a great spot to be hit, is it? I mean, nowhere on the body's a great spot to be hit by a cricket ball. But
well, it's okay if it hits you in the pad. If you're running or in the thigh pad, it's not so bad. But when it hits you in the back of the skin.
I meant in places that weren't protected.
Oh, that's weird. No, there's not.
Milne right arm over. Oh, is there an inside edge on that? Marsh was trying to take the bat away.
It's in his back pad.
They appeal. They go up. I think Pickers is right.
No, he hasn't hit that.
That's why he's in the expert's chair.
He played over it. That's why he didn't hit it. It's definitely hit his back leg. Yeah, beautiful. Good decision. Bowling.
I think it hit his car keys in the
car keys
in the left pocket.
The keys.
Yeah.
Leg. The umpire signalled leg straight away. There you go.
For Western Union, another fast delivery by Western Union. Send money overseas with our app. Liam Pickering, our expert. Sam Hargraves to call the action on Big Bash Nation. Renegades into their first over are chasing 210 to win. 209 put up by the Thunder. Marsh on strike to Milne. Oh, and he's having a go at one. Wide outside off. Just jammed down on it in the end. Bounced it to the keeper.
He can look a little bit nervy at the start of his innings, Sean Marsh, but once he warms up, I should say, she's a whole different game. William?
For many, the most technically correct batsman in the country for a long time. And I know he couldn't quite sustain it at test level, and it might be one of the great shames. He's on strike to the New Zealander in Milne. Again, giving him some wits out the side off stump. He's trying to cut it.
It's 2 off, though. It's a good first over.
No run, 140 clicks. Marsh looks at his bat, a little bit disappointed after one. Just the 2 off it, none for 2, the Renegades.
IMAR. We all know they're the tradies' mates when it comes to business insurance. That means if you're a chippy, IMAR's got you covered. And not just you. Insure with IMAR and they'll cover your subbies as well. Plus, receive competitive monthly premiums at no additional cost, which is great for cash flow. Even better, there's no paperwork. Just a simple phone call and we'll get you covered too. Call 13-IMAR now. That's 134627.
They're the tradies' mate. That's IMAR.
So, Aaron Finch, Sean Marsh, second and third on the all-time run scorers table in Big Bash cricket. 2,300 runs for Finch, 1,961 runs for Marsh. They sit behind Chris Lynn in the top 3 of all time. And you get the sense they're going to need to have a very big say in this game, Liam Pickering, if the Renegades are going to claim some chocolates.
Oh, well, you think they're going to have a massive say in proceedings from a batting point of view, because they're the 2 key batsmen for the Renegades and need to get rolling tonight.
Finch on strike to Sam's left arm over the wicket. Worked nicely off the pads, backward to square. Davies will field and bounce it back to the keeper for 1.
A mate of mine sent me through his TAB ticket. So found an $81 winner today.
Did he really?
Yeah. Bit better than I did this afternoon, I must say. Really my day. Caulfield.
So Sean Marsh 1 off 4. Finch 2 from 3. None for 3, the Renegades. Daniel Sams, the leading wicket taker in BBL 9. Just adding another real string to his bow with the runs he's been able to score this year as well for the Thunder.
Well, he's handy again today, 22 off 12. You know he's made his international debut for Australia in this format.
Took his first wicket, which was the great Virat Kohli. And his left arm to the left-hander, trying to whip it off the hip was Marsh, and it's a wide. No bat on that.
Disappointed he didn't get something on that then, Sean Marsh. A bit dirty with himself. A lot of protection down there. The big left armour. Just need to get something on it then. But you take the extra run and the ball to be re-bowled.
Second highest run scorer for the Thunder this year, Daniel Sams.
Oh, well, it helps when you get 60 odd in one game.
Yeah, 65, not out.
Davies must be up there now.
Sams, that's nicely driven square by Marsh, but that man Davies is there to keep it to 1. Back with a point. Yeah, Davies is their third highest, 84 for him.
Worth just letting everyone know that the Renegades won the toss and bowled today.
Yeah.
And they've now got to chase down 210 to win. So the pitch is a beauty.
Well, the Thunder have only beaten them twice, and they've never...
Beat them last year.
Yeah, they did. Sams, is there an edge on that? It was just shaping away from the right-hander in Finch. They don't go up. It was well bowled across the body of the right-hander. None for 5. It's just a very slow start for the Renegades.
It's been good bowling.
Yep.
It was a really good first over from Milne, and Sams is mixing it up at the moment.
You spoke about the Renegades not bowling to their field during their...
They started poorly. You know, second over went for 16 and then 11, 15, 11, 11. Bowled too wide.
Finch on strike to Sams. Left arm over to the right-hander. Oh, and he's advancing. Oh, that's beautifully worked off the pads. That will go all the way into the crowd. Nonchalant from Finch, and it went the full journey.
Oh, it's fantastic. He doesn't like to get tied down, Aaron Finch. He swung back in. He used his feet, flicked it off his pads in the air all the way for 6. Yeah, went with a shot. Lovely shot by skipper.
2 balls left in this second over.
This is the thing with Finch. He hits the ball so hard and so well that when he gets in, he can go big quick.
It's a fair weapon he's got in the hands, though.
Yeah. 2-8er. With plenty of meat, as they say.
Yep.
Swinging them back into him. It can sometimes go through the gate.
Yep. Sams to Finch, and that's again across the body and just running it down. Looks like a fly slip there, isn't it? Or a gully.
Deep gully.
Yep. And so just a single off the last ball of that.
9 off.
Over.
10 off.
Yeah, they get 10 off that over, and after 2, the Renegades are none for 12. Oh, no, hang on.
Still
one to go, is there?
Too excited.
Oh, I could have sworn that was the last ball of the over.
Yeah, I didn't see it that
I've
wide.
got 6 pebbles in my hand. I'm changing.
Yeah, but if
Did you ever do that when you were...
Yeah, when you put a pebble in, you didn't take it back out when he bowled the wide.
I didn't either. Sams, this is the final ball of the over. It's to Marsh. Oh, and that cut back at him. Marsh read it well, opened the face. Just get a single
off.
into the offside. 11 off that second over. So they're none for 13, the Renegades, after 2.
For many of us, our car is our pride and joy, or the family taxi. And for some weeks now, it's been sitting idle in the driveway, waiting for the moment we can get back out on the road. Before we do that, book in with Tyre Power for your free 5-minute tyre safety check. Plan ahead, beat the crowds. It's so important to check your tyres are 100% roadworthy and safe. Find your local independent Tyre Power dealer at tyrepower.com.au.
It's long been a feature of the way that the Thunder go about it. They don't like to bowl bowlers in consecutive overs. So McAndrew will bowl the 3rd over of this defence of the 209 that they put on the board. Nathan McAndrew, 9 wickets in 18 matches. And Vickers, today, a very dear friend of yours was remembered fondly and beautifully at the MCG. Dean Jones, Jane, Phoebe, Augusta, AB, Paul, Mark and Nicole all out in the middle with Dino's bat, glasses.
Did a fantastic job, I thought, today in 324, which is his cap number and his highest first-class score.
McAndrew, right arm over to Marsh. Oh, he's put that straight up in the air. It's gone 50 high and maybe only about 15 long, and the catch is taken by Cutting. At cover, Marsh is gone, and that is a massive, massive early breakthrough for the Thunder.
There's a disappointing shot. Marsh has tried to hoik it through the leg side and just got the top edge, and it went straight up there, and an easy catch in the covers to Ben Cutting. And a bad start for the Renegades. And Sean Marsh, who hasn't quite looked himself so far this season.
3 off 7 for Sean Marsh. So
Sammy Harper will be the next man in.
The first wicket falls for Scott Pack. Turn unpaid invoices into cash. scottpack.com.au. McAndrew has figures of 1 for none. For Dulux, professional painters choose Dulux.
He's a busy little player, Sammy Harper.
Off the text, 0433 98 11 16, you've been told that you've got to continue to call him Little Sammy Harper.
Little Sammy. We've not much of him. Yeah, a little fella. Good hitter, though. Really good hitter. Critical player in the premiership winning year in 08.
Yeah, he was.
BBL 8.
So the tribute to Dino today.
I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was fabulous what they did for the family, and with the poem and everything that was done on the day. And I haven't spoken to Mark or Paul yet. I talked to Mark quite a lot. I played a bit of cricket with those boys when I was young, but they're good fellas. But and I thought it was a great tribute to Dino, and also fantastic for the family to have him recognised like that and publicly. Yep. I thought they did a superb job, Cricket Australia, and everyone involved, the MCC.
So McAndrew now to Finch, because they did cross. Not now. And you heard Finch saying, not now. There's no run there to mid-on. So and a lot's been spoken about with Dean Jones, and you were very good friends with him. The one thing that always stands out for me, and like most Victorian kids, I grew up wanting to be Dean Jones or Mark Waugh, but Dean Jones, especially early on. The legacy for me, when you hear people like Ricky Ponting and Adam Gilchrist say, well, he's the man that made me pick up a bat. Now, if you're the person that inspires the generation of people that he did that became the greats that they were, then you sit in a rare air that not many sit in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Andrew, again, working at the pads of Finch, who can take one backward a square.
Good hard runner between the wickets, Aaron Finch.
And they'll get two.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we all loved him as young fellas growing up, and he was so brash. But such a good player. Everyone talks about what a great one-day player he was. He would have owned T20 cricket. He would have been brilliant. But he was a very good test player too. Yep. Let's not forget that. He had a really good test batting average of 45.
Yep.
Had some huge innings for Australia. Played in an era where it was that sort of era that was starting to get Australia back on track with AB and all that crew.
Yep.
And then, of course, we know what happened after that. But, he was a pretty integral part of that.
Finch on strike, 11 off 8. Now, is there a little nick on that? No, there's not, but it squared him up, did McAndrew. 147 clicks. He just hung the bat there. Did Finch.
It's quick enough. Only 148. Just seemed a bit too.
He was searching for it.
Just took it away from Finch then. He sort of not balanced when he played the shot, Aaron Finch.
If you looked at a clock, he was sort of facing 8 o'clock, wasn't he? It was a weird position he ended up in.
Really squared him up. If he gives him any width, though, Finch will go after him.
Finch on strike. McAndrew, it's a bit shorter, and he's up on his toes defending in the offside. They take a quick single. Harper was diving, sliding, tumbling. Safely home.
You don't really need you to be sliding on your gloves before your first ball you faced.
No.
Really, it's not great for your gloves, that.
Certainly didn't want another diamond duck, did we?
No, certainly not Sam Harper.
So does it start to look a bit thin, though? Is that the problem for the Renegades when Marsh and Finch are gone?
Well, Russo's a really good player. They got him here to win.
Well, he's won international T20s off his own bat before.
Correct. You'd like him to be coming in at, 14th or 15th over, really, or the 12th over, rather than have him in early.
Harper on strike, defending into the onside.
That's a good over.
Beautifully bowled over. Just the 3 runs coming off McAndrew's first over. There's a lot of work to do for the Renegades after 3. They're 1 for 16.
If you love racing, you'll love SEN Track. Start your day with us, Ian Healy and Pat Welsh, and catch up on all the latest in chasing, pacing and racing. Join us on SEN Track Ingham 96.1 FM, Atherton 99.1 FM, and the all-new Gold Coast 1620 AM, and Brisbane 1053 AM.
It's the new sound of chasing, pacing and racing.
Join in all the fun on SEN Track.
SEN Track.
Also available on the SEN app.
Welcome back to Big Bash Nation. 3 overs into the Renegades run chase. They need 210. They need 11.4, the required run rate. They're 1 for 16.
Oh, just look at the replay. It was a horrible shot by
Sean Marsh.
I mean, you sort of understand what he was doing. He was struggling a bit, so he just tried the old hit across the line and straight up in the air. Not a great start, this.
No, it wasn't. So McAndrew was the first wicket to fall for Scott Pack. Turn unpaid invoices into cash. scottpack.com.au. It's Milne to resume. And straight down the ground, over mid-off. 1 bounce, 2 bounce, maybe 3 to 4. Yeah. He'll get to the boundary, though. Finch gets the first Renegades boundary in this run chase, and it couldn't have come at a better time.
You count the 6 as well as a boundary, do you?
That's true. He did hit a 6.
He did hit a big 6.
Well, technically, I'm right. It was just
yeah, sort of. Yeah.
For TAC on your phone, you're driving blind. TAC.
Yeah, he just played with a mid-off up. He just played through the ball over the top of mid-off, and because he's got so much power, he was going to always run away once it landed.
Finch on strike, getting into his work. Oh, he wanted one that was short and wide, outside off, and it just misses the top edge through to the keeper. No run off the text. Billy says Dino inspired a generation, including me, of running like a whippet, and yes, turning blind for 2.
Yeah, he did turn blind a lot, but he was so quick between the wickets. But he was a brilliant fieldsman too.
That was ahead of his time as well, wasn't it? The running between wickets.
Oh, he started all that. No one ran between the wickets like he did until he started doing it. And now that's an integral part of what all these guys do. And, you know, Warner's a brilliant runner between the wickets. Finch is. All those one-day players are.
Finch on strike to Milne. He's back defending. There'll be a single thought of square. So Harper on strike. Finch now will be 17 off 13. Renegades are 1 for 21.
Well, Sam Harper, if the ball's there to hit, he'll hit it. That's what he does. So anything up and wide is going to go over the top of the offside. And he's just as happy to flick him over the leg side. So he'll cut. He's a good player. I've always been a fan of this fella. But and he'll take it on too.
He's done the job at first class level as well.
Oh yeah, he's a good cricketer.
You like his work behind the stumps?
Yeah, I do.
Milne to Harper, who wants it, gives himself some room and spanks it through covers for 4.
That's what he'll do. Anything on the offside with the field up, and it's only another couple of balls with the field up, by the way. We've wasted a bit of this power play, the Renegades, but he gives himself room, goes over the top of cover for 4, 1 bounce.
So after 4 overs in their power play for Tyre Power, you trusted Tyre Experts, the Thunder were 50.
Yeah, they're a fair way behind.
They're halfway to that at the moment. The Renegades with 2 balls left to go in their power play for Tyre Power. Know your tyres. Milne to Harper. Again wants to take him. Oh, that's beautifully taken. Back foot cover drive to the boundary for 4. All the way along the carpet. Harper's now 8 off 3 in the blink of an eye.
Beautiful cover drive. That was all the way along the ground. You're right. It's a good cricket shot, that. Wasn't the worst ball. It was on middle stump. He just gave himself a bit of room and went crack. And he might just be thinking he scoops too. That's the other thing he does. He's a little scooper.
Harper. Can he get another one? Oh, he's edging, and that's through to the keeper, who loves it, and the finger goes up. That was a bit shorter and closer to the body, and it finds the edge. Well bowled, Milne. Renegades in absolute all sorts. 2 for 29 after 4.
It's never been more important to buy Australian than right now. Our local manufacturers and growers produce world-class products known for their quality, safety and reliability. All while generating local jobs, supporting our communities and helping Australian families now and into the future. So look for the trusted green and gold kangaroo logo. Buy Australian now. Visit australianmade.com.au.
So the big Kiwi fast bowler gets the second wicket in the Thunder's defence of their 209. And that brings the South African Riley Rousseau, who's a powerful man, has got length.
Well, he can hit. There's no doubt about that.
2 for 29, the Renegades. Harper went for 8 off 4. Had hit 2 boundaries in a row, was fancying himself. And what did you make of the final delivery from Big Milne?
Well, it just came back a bit too close to play the shot he was trying to play. He just put it a little bit shorter than he bowled. He bowled it pretty much the same line as the ball before that he smacked through the covers for 4. But this one was a shorter version. He had to try and play it off the back foot and just got the feather on the outside edge.
First wicket for Milne in BBL 10 for the Thunder.
Well, he's young.
For Dulux.
Tanveer
Sanger. The leggy, wily leg spinner. Just helped with a bit of a lap sweep from Finch.
Couple there.
They should get 2. Man coming around now. We'll pull it up about 10 metres in from the fine leg boundary, and Finch moves to 19 off 14, 2 for 31, the Renegades. So the power play all done and dusted for Tyre Power, your trusted tyre experts.
Fair to say it was well won pretty convincingly by the Thunder, who were none for 50, and the Renegades 2 for 29.
Yep, Tanvir again. That one's a bit fuller and wider outside off, and little hop, skip and a jump from Finch.
Well, I thought he was
on its way to
he
be
was
off.
going to try and launch into him then.
He pulled out of it, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. This was a clever bit of play because he bowled it well. Just a looking at the replay, just a fraction shorter, wasn't it, for Sam Harper?
Sanger's got 3 wickets in this BBL season so far.
He's been impressive.
Sam's is their leading wicket taker with 5. McAndrew has 4.
He's one of your mates. Sam's. No ham Sam's.
Well, you reckon he's the Daniel Talia doppelganger?
He looks like a bit like...
That's wider outside off to Rousseau, the left-hander from South Africa, who gets off the mark.
It's a bit like Daniel Talia, yes. He does. A little bit like him, not quite.
Well, you were all over that last time we did a game together.
Yeah, well, I've always thought it. He looks a bit like it. Like him. Daniel's probably better looking.
Reverse sweep attempt, and that went straight to
slip.
that leg slip, which is Usman Khawaja on the bounce.
He's not a leg slip, mate. He's a slip.
Oh, no, it was a slip because he was the reverse sweep, wasn't it? It got me all
swept into the slip.
Bamboozled me as well. You're right. Now give yourself some room. That one went straight on. Caught!
Oh, boy.
Club to cover, taken by Ferguson. Sanger gets his 4th wicket at BBL 10, his first tonight. The Renegades reeling at 3 for 33.
Disarray again. Disarray again. Wasn't the best ball he's ever bowled, but Aaron Finch giving himself a bit of room. Clubbed it straight to cover, but in the air and straight to Callum Ferguson, who's wearing that gold cap because he's leading run scorer in the comp. And he took the pretty comfortable catch, really low down. And the Renegades are in all sorts of trouble, 3 for 33. Finch goes for 20.
Goodness me. One ball to come in this 5th over.
The 3 blokes you think would have to give the Renegades any chance of winning this game are all back in the shed inside 5 overs.
Marsh for 3, Harper for 8, and now Finch for 20. And that brings Bo Webster to the crease. We've had a good year for them last year. I think it was might have been their 2nd or 3rd highest run scorer. Hit the most 6s for the Renegades last year.
Yeah, he's been a very good player for a couple of years, Bo Webster. Played some fine hands.
Well, it's a long, long road to 210 when you've only got 33 on the board and 3 wickets already fallen.
It sure is. You're chasing 210 to win.
Big wide stance of Webster. Straight back to the bowler, Sanger. And that's the end of a very nice over. Just the 4 runs coming from it. And more importantly, though, the big wicket of Aaron Finch for Scott Pack. Turn unpaid invoices into cash. scottpack.com.au after 5. The Renegades 3 for 33.
Historic victories.
Richmond win their 3rd premiership in 4 years.
Heartbreak.
From the Australian Grand Prix, just want to say sorry to our fans. The event can't go ahead.
And jubilation.
Driving clear. Johnny Get Angry's going to do it for Dennis. Johnny Get Angry wins the Victoria Derby.
Across every town and city, sport is the glue of our local community. Listen anywhere, anytime on the SEN app. The latest news articles, podcasts, live sport and more. Download the SEN app today.
5 overs down, and the Renegades are a disconsolate-looking bunch in the dugout. 3 for 33. Marsh, Finch and Harper all sitting back where they would prefer they weren't. Webster and Rousseau, the big South African at the crease. And off the text, Renegades are a rubbish team. That's very simply done off the text, but it's very hard to argue with that at the moment, Pix, which is hard for you and I.
That's 4.
Beautifully driven, though, by Rousseau. That is a textbook cover drive all the way to the boundary for 4 for TAC. On your phone, you're driving blind, TAC.
He only faced 1 ball, and then he got that gift from McAndrew, who just threw up a half volley to him, and he didn't even try to overhit it. He just timed it beautifully and straight to the boundary.
McAndrew got the first wicket of the Renegades innings, which was Marsh. Caught by Cutting, trying to play across the line, straight up in the air.
Yeah, certainly a bad year last year, the Renegades, and doesn't look too good this year either.
So, leaving a ball that bounced over middle and off.
That's a good leave. It was a ripping ball. Riley Rousseau. Who is a powerful hitter. He's going to need to be there at the end, you'd think, for them to win. Run rate just keeps sneaking up by the ball.
He's played 15 internationals, averages 29, 36 international one-dayers, averages 38. Oh, he's pulling a ball with authority. Look at that, get to the boundary in sharp time.
Yeah, he smoked that. Short ball from McAndrew on that occasion. And he just went whack, pulled it straight through square leg for 4. Gee, he timed it well to it, raced away to the boundary.
So, can play the game. Hasn't been playing a lot of international cricket in recent years, but has 3 one-day international hundreds to his name.
Well, he's taken Australia down before, I know that.
Oh, yep. Watching the highlights of that this afternoon.
Let's hope he can do it tonight.
Rousseau, he's just jamming down on one that was rising up at the rib cage. Taken by the keeper. They'll get a single. He'll go to 10 off 5. Webster back on strike. None off the one delivery he's faced. 3 for 42 with a couple of balls to go in the 6th over. So the mental side of this would be very tough. I mean, to look at the board and go, well, we've lost our 3 best, at least our 2 best, and we're chasing a record score for this year. How the application to then know how to go after that pick is, I'd be fascinated in.
The plan would be just to keep going without trying to, or minimising the risks.
Oh, and there's...
I know it sounds like a pretty obvious thing to say, but you can't not keep going. Like, you've got to keep rolling. You've got to keep the scoreboard ticking on. You're going to have to take the odd risk, but it's not just playing big shots every ball, because that's how you end up being all out for 48 or whatever they made.
Thick edge, the third man from Webster. Just the single. Rousseau back on strike.
But he's an experienced player. So is Webster. So, I mean, they've got enough experience there.
Liam Pickering for Western Union. Another fast delivery by Western Union. Send money overseas with our app. McAndrew. Last ball of his second over to Rousseau, and that's right in the slot.
That as well for 4.
He's slashed that over cover. It'll get to the boundary. They give chase. Green won't get there. So that's 4, and that's their best over so far. 14 runs coming off the 6th over. The Renegades are 3 for 47.
Hi, it's Doug the Tradie. If you're a tradie like me, you need the correct insurance. It's easy with IMAR. They offer competitive premiums, instant cover and no paperwork. Go online, get an instant quote and pay the premium, or call an expert now on 13IMAR. You'll be covered in a few simple steps and ready to get on with the job. Visit imar.com.au today or call 13IMAR and get a quote, get covered, get working.
They're the tradies, mate. That's IMAR.
So it's a great defence so far of their total of 209 by the Thunder. It was all really set up. They took 2 wickets in that initial power play for Tyre Power, your trusted tyre experts.
That's a good shot by Bo Webster. That's another 4.
Through mid-wicket, all the way along the ground. A boundary for TAC on your phone and driving blind. TAC. Sanger continues and a boundary off the first ball. Webster's into it now.
Yeah, just dropped the short one there. And Bo Webster went crack off the back foot. Just pulled it straight past the man at mid-wicket, all the way along the carpet for 4. A big gap out there. It's still got attacking fields here. Still got a slip in.
Flighted outside. Just over the outstretched hands of the cover fieldsman, which was Ferguson. It'll be reeled in on the boundary by Cutting, and they should get a couple. And because we didn't, and I know it might be all gone now, but who needs to be switched on for Fujitsu, Australia's favourite air? In this run chase now.
Riley Russo and Bo Webster, they're the 2. Because this is the partnership.
Sanger to Webster, who wanted to come down at him, but then realised it was dropping a bit shorter, so he just defended it to Ferguson in the covers. Escaped to the great indoors with Fujitsu, Australia's favourite air.
Simple as this, they need a partnership.
Sanger continues. He's given it a gift straight back. It bobbled out of the hand, and he was able to dive and catch it with the left, one-handed.
Yes.
Webster's gone, and you'd think so are the Renegades unless something miraculous is to happen. It was a gift back to the bowler.
He made a meal of trying to catch it, but he ended up catching it on the second. On the second bite, it was a pretty straight, simple catch. Just it was a terribly soft out. A terribly soft out from Bo Webster. It's like he was trying to tap it down to long off, but he tapped it straight back to the bowler. So much for that partnership I was talking about.
Yep.
4 for 53 now.
So the wicket falls for Scott Pack. Turn unpaid invoice into cash. scottpack.com.au. 4 for 53 now, the Renegades. And Sanger's got pretty tidy figures of 2 for 10 for Dulux. Professional painters choose Dulux. And again, there's another young player who's putting their hand up for this MEGT Rookie of the Day, your local apprenticeship experts.
I'm impressed with him, with Sanger. Tanvir's a nice bowler. Been impressed with him the other time I saw him as well.
6 wickets for the year now.
He's only a kid. He's got a baby face. But, geez, he's got some tricks.
So that brings the president, El Presidente, to the crease, Mohamed Nabi. And we know that he can do some damage with the bat. Averaged over 50 last year, courtesy of 3 not-outs, and he had a strike rate of 160. His best is 63, and they're going to need every one of those, you'd think.
Yeah, absolutely they will. Nabi's a good player, though. Really experienced player. He's won a lot of games for the Renegades.
Sanger to Nabi. That spun back at the right-hander, who helped it on its way through mid-wicket for a single to get off the mark. 2 for 10 now, Sanger for Dulux. Proudly brought to you by Dulux Trade Centres. Oh, no, he didn't get off the mark. He was sent back.
Terrible running.
Forward defence, thick inside edge.
I don't think either Russo or Nabi are great runners between the wicket, to be fair. 6 off the over.
453.
Tyre Power's summer scorcher sale gives you the power of a sizzling hot offer on Toyo tyres. Buy 3 and get 1 free on a huge range of Toyo passenger car and SUV tyres. Now that is a hot offer. Buy 3 and get 1 free on selected Toyo passenger car and SUV tyres. Only during December at Tyre Power. Tyre Power's summer scorcher sale is on now with many more scorching offers on a hot range of famous brand tyres. Visit tyrepower.com.au or call 13 21 91 for your local owner operator.
7 overs, Melbourne Renegades, 4 for 53 at the same stage. The Thunder were 2 for 72. It was all set up in their power play for Tyre Power. You trusted tyre experts. They took 50 off the first 4 overs. And it was partnerships of 70 to Khawaja and Hales, and then 60 to Davies and Ferguson, 43 to Ferguson and Sams. They just didn't really lose wickets at regular intervals until about the last over, where they lost 3. Second last over. Green into the attack now. Right arm around the wicket. Just helped on its way with a little sweep round the corner from Rousseau.
Anywhere near it. Should get 2 at least.
They think about 3, but decide against it. And a couple off the bat of Rousseau, who's moved to 14 off 6. 4 for 55 now, the Renegades, into the 8th over.
Yeah, I need one of these players to go big. Now, Rousseau's the one that they've got here to be the batsman that can win your games. But Mohamed Nabi is not to be underestimated with the bat, because he can really hit the ball. He's got good pace in his game.
Can they make a game of it? Rousseau working one through the offside for a single.
He knows when to go. He likes playing spin. He knows when to take it on too. And he's very strong over cover, Mohamed Nabi, which is hard to set a field for that. If you're bowling at the stumps and you've got a cover fielder there, if you looks going over the top, scores a lot of runs through over 6, hitting 6s over cover. Nabi got a bit of tap himself tonight though. 4 6s in a row he was taken down by Oliver Davies, which is unusual for him. As in for Nabi to go for those.
Well, that's a Yorker.
Brad catch.
Tapped. The bunt ball to be on. We were talking about Dean Jones before. My mum Jill has just texted and said, and treated badly by selectors.
Yeah, well,
that's short down leg side. Keeper doesn't know where it's gone.
That'll be a wide.
Holt, it is a wide.
Yeah, it's interesting. He was stiff to get dropped from that test team in the first place, really. Yeah, and everyone that... Well, the Victorians certainly felt there was a conspiracy when he wasn't picked, again. Because his record was pretty good.
Green right arm around the wicket, taken off the pads from Nabi.
Trying to think who was initially... It was initially dropped for either Mark Waugh or Damien Martin. I can't think which one it was.
I think it was Damien Martin.
But his batting average of 45.
Yeah,
they'd never leave the side in this current format.
No.
Our test team at the moment, if you had an average of 45 at test level, well, you're playing every game.
How many of our current test players are averaging over that? Steve Smith is. I think Labuschagne is. Would that be about it?
Warner.
Well, Warner obviously out of the side at the minute, but of their current top order.
Head's about 40, I think.
Yeah. Oh, that's a slog sweep taken in a big way and right down the throat, though, of Milne.
This is pathetic.
Rousseau is gone. Wanted green, didn't get anywhere near enough of it, and they lose their 5th wicket, much to the ire of Liam Pickering, the former board member of the Melbourne Renegades.
Fair dinkum. 5:58. That's just another soft out. Right, Rousseau. So the top 5 have all gone back to the shed, and all got themselves out, every one of them. So there you go.
What do you do if you're Michael Klinger about this? What are you saying?
I don't know what his messaging is, but there might be some home truth told, I think.
And they made the decision to rest Aaron Finch. They lost the 2 games that he didn't play.
He rested from one, didn't he? He just missed last game, didn't he?
I reckon
he played the game before.
I think he missed 2. I'll go back and have a look. If you know, 0433 98 11 16. I
think I know. He was part of that team that were bowled out for 40 odd.
Was he?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. He missed last game. Okay.
So Rousseau goes. Imad now at the crease.
There's a little text, there's a little exchange from the former board going on via text message at the moment, which is
to be
reasonably brutal.
To just be an observer in that group text. The former board of the Melbourne Renegades are all in deep discussion at the moment via SMS. Driving to mid-off is Imad for a single to get off the mark. Last ball of the green over. Hold that thought, Pickers. It was a wicket taking over for Scott Pack, by the way. Scott Pack, turn unpaid invoice into cash, scottpack.com.au. After 8 overs, the Renegades, ST Ruggling, 5 for 59.
It's never been more important to buy Australian than right now. Our local manufacturers and growers produce world-class products known for their quality, safety and reliability, all while generating local jobs, supporting our communities and helping Australian families now and into the future. So look for the trusted green and gold kangaroo logo. Buy Australian now. Visit australianmade.com.au.
Renegades in a spot of bother, you'd have to say, and that's been kind. 5 for 59. At the same stage, the Thunder were 2 for 75. They're 16 runs off where they need to be, and they've lost an extra 3 wickets. Imad on 1, Nabi on 1. Sang it to continue, who's bowling well, has 2 for 10 after 2 overs, and he had one put straight back to him. There's no run.
He was given a gift by Bo Webster.
He was. Of course, the bash boost, they need 91 off 10 overs.
You're lucky to make 91 for the whole game, the way it's going.
Just need 32 off
32 runs. Off
the next 10 deliveries.
10 balls, yeah. There we go, that's going to look.
Sanger, another dot ball. This is the 3rd. No run there either to mid-wicket. So 3 dot balls in a row.
How many games did the Renegades win last year?
3.
So since winning the title in BBL 8, they won 3 games. They've won 4 games.
Yep, that's runs through cover. Just a single, though, to Imad.
Interesting.
Very interesting. It's a big fall from grace, isn't it?
Especially considering they'd been semi-final premiers. But last...
The required run rate is 13.24, proudly brought to you by Dulux Trade Centres. The current run rate is 6.92. That's a half tracker, and he's put it straight up in the air. Nabi, well, that should be getting taken in the crowd, but instead it's being taken by Davies inside the circle. And Sanger's got 3 wickets. The Renegades lose their 6th. And this is a debacle.
Absolute debacle. Very similar dismissal to the one that got Sean Marsh out. Tried to hoik it through the leg side. Top edge, straight up in the air. And this one's time taken by the wicketkeeper, was it? Was it the wicketkeeper that took that?
No, that was Oliver Davies who took that.
It was Oliver Davies, sorry. So current run rate is 6.79. Forget that, it's 6 for 60. 6 for 60. Chasing 209 210 for victory. And the required run rate now is 13.43. And in comes a kid.
It's ugly reading when you feel like when you know that they were bowled out for 60 in their second game this year versus the Sixers. They made a fist of it against the Hurricanes. They lost by 6 wickets with 14 balls left.
Made a big win against the Scorchers.
And they
takes them up.
Yep. And that's
if
possibly that's a wide by saying at the last ball of that over, so he'll have another one.
Look at this team on paper. It's a pretty good batting lineup on paper. None of them are going any good. Marsh, terrific player. Finch, terrific player. Harper, very good player. Russo, an international good player. Webster's had a good record. Naby's a good player, but shocking shot there just then. That's their top 6. It's a pretty good top 6.
Ahmad helps himself through mid-wicket, just 4 to square for a single to finish off the over. So he'll retain strike. Another very, very good over. Just 3 runs coming off it and a wicket as well for Sanger, who's got 3 for 13 after 3 overs, and after 9, the Renegades. It's ugly reading, 6 for 62.
The massive headlines.
Nathan Buckley had a phone conversation with Adam Treloar. The senior group didn't want him around the club anymore.
The huge moments in sport.
He gets him away to 20. The Melbourne Storm have won it.
And excitement.
Oh, that's a good-looking kick off the boot. You're kidding me.
Across every town and city, sport is the glue of our local community. Listen anywhere, anytime on the SEN app. The latest news articles, podcasts, live sport and more. Download the SEN app today.
6 for 62 after 9, and this could be another one. Ahmad's gone. We were a bit late getting back from the break. Green strikes with the first ball of his second over, and you heard from Liam Pickering, this is embarrassing. Straight down the throat of a short fine leg. It was a dolly. Wickets falling.
He tries a reverse sweep slog and another top edge and hits it straight to backward point. Just lobs into his hands.
7 for 62 now. Green's got 2 for 6.
What a terrible shot in the circumstances for Ahmad.
Is when you're 6 for 62 down, is that the time to be trying reverse sweeps?
That's not when you've lost a wicket the ball before, basically.
So Kane Richardson will now come to the crease, and this is certainly not what would have been at the Christmas wish list. On top of the Christmas wish list for the Renegades.
No. Very disappointing.
Off the text, it's a shame the Thunder didn't declare after 10 overs because it would have been exciting.
Yeah, well, that's right. But there's no real reason with this batting lineup to have such a poor batting performance. It's a cracking wicket. It's a fast outfield. They've pretty much got themselves out. Every player's got themselves out. Who's got out to a good ball?
I'd have to go back and have a look. Green, right arm around the wicket.
It tells you...
Sutherland off the pad to the mid-wicket fielder, no run.
It tells you something, doesn't it, when every one of them are caught?
Well, we're getting asked a question here, and we're not trying to throw Michael Klinger under the bus, but asking the question, since he's been the coach, this is his second year, the point is being made that they bat dumb.
Well, it has been dumb batting, there's no doubt. Last year was the same. Though I thought they didn't have the depth they've got this year last year. There's much more depth this year.
Sorry for laughing off the text. You guys now have time to do the second game. This is over. That's full.
I'll guarantee we won't be doing that. I've got a daughter at home I've got to get to at some stage.
No run to the offside. So this is just a very, very good over from Green, who took a wicket on the first ball. It's been dots ever since. 2 for 6 he's got, 2 to come. His fifth ball spun away from the right-hander. Sutherland's off the mark to deep mid-off. Just a single, though. 7 for 63 with a ball to come in the 10th over. Richardson on strike.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Maxi Klinger would be saying to this group at the moment. He knows their experience. He knows that there's a lot of talent there, but they are not playing well.
Green, that was a straighter ball. Defended down the wicket by Richardson. No run. 2 for 7. What about those figures for Green after his 2 overs? After 10, the halfway mark. Well, they need 210. Halfway, they're 7 for 63, the Renegades.
real adventures with Patrick Dangerfield and Aaron Hapgood. Everything fishing, boating and outdoors.
I'm just astonished how many people are still using the wrong burley cages, Pat. You need to get your cages down to the bottom for the whiting. Look at the design of a whiting's face. They're shaped so their mouth turns in underneath their jaw and they feed hard on the bottom. So where are they going to be? They're going to be on the bottom.
Patrick Dangerfield and Aaron Hapgood. Subscribe and listen today wherever you get your podcasts.
7 wickets down for Scott Pack. Turn unpaid invoice into cash. scottpack.com.au. The Renegades in deep consultation. The captain's there, still with pads on, weirdly. He was dismissed very early on in the piece. Was Aaron Finch for 20. He's their highest run scorer at the moment, the Renegades. Thunder have won the Bash Boost point, so they got already a point on the board from this game. 7 for 63. The Renegades, it's been a calamitous performance from a team that were champions just 2 seasons ago. The fall of the wickets, well, they've fallen incredibly regularly. We'll get to those in just a moment, Pickers. But what's your overriding sense?
Well, there's only 2 players made over 10. It's telling you something when there's 7 back in the shed. And not one of them haven't contributed to their own demise. Not one of them.
Marsh was out, caught cutting straight up in the air. McAndrew 3 off 7. Harper then went 8 off 4 for him. Caught Holt, bowled Milne. He was caught behind. Finch then went, caught Ferguson, bowled Sanger 20 off 17. Webster was caught and bowled Sanger 7 off 6. Rousseau 17 off 9, offered some resistance with 3 boundaries. Caught Milne, bowled Green. Mohammed Nabi was caught Davies, bowled Sanger for 1 off 5. Imad Wasim was caught Sanger, bowled Green for 3 off 7. And a lot of wickets were thrown away, Liam Pickering.
Well, they were, every one of them. I think there's been one player that you could honestly say hasn't thrown his wicket away.
And what about the Tanveer Sanger? He's got 3 wickets to his name in real competition for the MEGT Rookie of the Night. MEGT, your local apprenticeship experts, called 13 MEGT today. Of course, Davies 48 and 5 sixes in a row will be stiff competition, but 3 for 13 for Sanger. And what have they done here?
Really well. It's taking the power surge.
Oh, okay. So here's Sutherland to face the first ball of the power surge. Slower ball onto the pads is a single, and Sam's going to chase after that himself. They'll get 2 through mid-wicket.
We need to run out now.
Just to cap it off.
And then cue the Benny Hill music. Calamitous performance is a very good description of what the batting's been like today, unfortunately, for the Renegades.
Because when you are chasing 209, you have to go for your shots. And, of course, you will go out most often through lack of execution rather than the bowlers forcing you to get out. Fair enough, have a go. I just don't have the rest of that text. I'll have to get the mouse onto that in a second.
Fair enough, have a go. You have to set a platform, whether you're chasing 200 or not. Go back and have a look at the Renegades when they lost to Hobart Hurricanes.
Getting a full ball, a full toss at the off stump and straight to the fielder. Ferguson in cover with Sutherland, no run.
They didn't all throw their bat at the start. You needed someone to have a big score here.
So Steve says, fair enough, have a go at the inability to execute, but it seems illogical to have a go at them for trying to score runs. But are you saying it's
I'm not telling them not to
bad
score
shot
runs.
selection?
Every one of them have been poor shots. Every one of them have hit the ball in the air. Every time. The Thunder made 209, not for
Sam's
every
left arm
ball in
over.
the air.
Big, thick edge, trying to heave one down the ground, and it'll be 4 to third man because that's a vacant area. It's a boundary, and they'll take him however he can get him. Sutherland to boundary for TAC. On your phone, you're driving blind, TAC.
Well, I'd be interested to hear what anyone else has got to say about the way that they've gone about this chase tonight, but to me, it's been poor.
Sam's wicketless at the moment, which goes to show you even how much more impressive this Thunder performance has been. 7 for 69 now, the Renegades, halfway through the 11th over.
It is the same pitch that we were playing on an hour ago.
Sam's bouncer going after it with Sutherland through to the keeper. No run. Ever since Picks left the building, the Renegades have gone downhill. That's come off the text.
Oh, yeah, but I'm barracking for them. Obviously, I'm hoping they win, but it's just, I don't like the way they're playing. It's got to be a wide, surely.
Did that get called
It went over his head.
A wide? It did.
It had to be called over. It wasn't called.
He's asking the question.
Well, I don't think it was
Hasn't
called.
been called, I don't think.
No.
Do the Gades have a team psychologist? Bloody get one. That's from Mouse.
Well, not sure what the setup is in there at the moment. Cricket Victoria now taking that all back inboard.
Sam's to Sutherland, who wants him down the ground. He wants to take on long on, and he will not get near there. And he's out.
Yeah.
Trying to hit out of the ground, and it goes straight to Hales, halfway to the boundary, who got back nicely to take that catch. And Sutherland goes 7 off 9, the 8th wicket to fall. They're 8 for 69 with the ball to come in the 11th.
It's never been more important to buy Australian than right now. Our local manufacturers and growers produce world-class products known for their quality, safety and reliability. All while generating local jobs, supporting our communities and helping Australian families now and into the future. So look for the trusted green and gold kangaroo logo. Buy Australian now. Visit australianmade.com.au.
So the Renegades were 7 for 63 going into this over. They took the power surge for Tyre Power, your trusted tyre experts, and they've lost the wicket of Sutherland. The last 23 balls, 4 wickets have fallen. The run rate's 4.17. Just 16 runs have been scored. It is an all-time collapse again for the Renegades, who are becoming all too synonymous with that expression. 8 for 69. Sams gets his first wicket.
Yeah, another.
And Zach Evans is at the crease.
Another terrible shot.
Sams to Richardson, who clubs him down the ground. That is a good shot. It'll evade the fielder, and it'll get to the boundary for 4 for the TAC. On your phone, you're driving blind, TAC.
That's an acceptable shot because you've got the mid-on up. Like, Sutherland went to slog the ball to the longest boundary with where the 2 fielders were. That's not smart batting. They're very disappointing, but it's been a really good performance by the Thunder, who we'll come back to that.
We will.
It's never been more important to buy Australian than right now. Our local manufacturers and growers produce world-class products known for their quality, safety and reliability. All while generating local jobs, supporting our communities and helping Australian families now and into the future. So look for the trusted green and gold kangaroo logo. Buy Australian now. Visit australianmade.com.au.
8 for 73. The Renegades, fair to say it's been a capitulation of the highest order again.
Well, that run rate's going to get us another smacking tonight.
15.22 is the run rate required. It's 6.64 at the minute. Those stats for Dulux. Professional painters choose Dulux, and Milne as figures a 1 for 15 to start his third over. He's bowling to Evans, who's opening the face and getting it nicely. Threaded the needle through point and cover. And they'll get a couple. Zach Evans, we had a text before saying that he looks like White Goodman from Dodgeball. I don't know if his moustache is prominent is as prominent as White's.
Yeah, he's got a different look.
8 for 74.
I told you he was a good footballer, didn't I, earlier?
Zach Evans?
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, he's a really talented footballer, but I've been drafted for sure.
Right arm Milne, he was squaring up Evans, who got a thickish edge.
He's one of the
point for no run.
He's one of three I can think of in the last 3 or 4 years who have chosen cricket over football. Evans, Sutherland, and Will Parker, who's a Hurricanes player. Just turned 18. Who would have been?
And you believe they all would have been drafted?
Yeah, I do. Yep, I reckon all of them would have been if they had stuck at footy.
It is great to see that the cricket getting the nod. For so long it was footy always getting the nod. Oh, that's a bouncer right at the jugular of Evans.
Right at the money too.
Almost ran up the face of the bat.
I thought he might have got something.
I thought he might have too. That's called a wide. Is it? No.
No,
that was at the bonce, so it wasn't over.
It was actually a good, well disguised and well positioned bumper.
So this would be their third ever win over the Renegades for the Thunder.
Yeah, so the last 2 years, it'll be last year and this year.
Yep.
Better than Geelong last year, easy.
Milne to Evans. Oh, and that's spooned. Oh, that's just a dolly. That's a soda to cutting at mid-on, and they lose their 9th wicket now. Evans is gone. Milne gets his second. 2 balls left to come in the 12th over, and the Renegades are 9 for 75.
It's never been more important to buy Australian than right now. Our local manufacturers and growers produce world-class products known for their quality, safety and reliability, all while generating local jobs, supporting our communities and helping Australian families now and into the future. So look for the trusted green and gold kangaroo logo. Buy Australian now. Visit australianmade.com.au.
Welcome back to Big Bash Nation. Sam Hargraves, Liam Pickering, Manuka Oval. Well, it's not a happy hunting ground for the Renegades tonight. 9 for 75. Pete Hatzoglu at the crease. Richardson's 4 off 2. Hatzoglu to face. I don't even know if they crossed.
We'll see in a second. Left a bit to be required from the numbers 9 and 11.
Yes.
Bit of work to do.
Fair job. 210 needed, 75 on the board. Off you go, lads.
See if we can get us through, boys.
Milne with a head of steam. That's full ball. That's driven. Beautifully square. Saw it big, did Hatzoglu, and he's off the mark with a boundary for TAC on your phone. You're driving blind.
Oh, dear. This messaging that's coming on here, coming through from a few of my ex-board mates. Not all that thrilled with what's going on.
So Hatzoglu 4 off 1. Milne has figures of 2 for 21 for Dulux. Proudly brought to you by Dulux Trade Centres. Last ball of the 12th over. Dabbed back to Milne by Hatzoglu for no run. And after 12, the Renegades 9 for 79.
If you love racing, you'll love SEN Track. Start your day with us, Ian Healy and Pat Welsh, and catch up on all the latest in chasing, pacing and racing. Join us on SEN Track Ingham 96.1 FM, Atherton 99.1 FM, and the all-new Gold Coast 1620 AM, and Brisbane 10:53 AM.
It's the new sound of chasing, pacing and racing.
Join in all the fun on SEN Track.
SEN Track.
Also available on the SEN app.
Ninth wicket fell in that last over. At the same time, 2 for 122 with a Thunder. 9 for 79 are the Renegades. For Scott Pack, turn unpaid invoice into cash, scottpack.com.au. And is this the last wicket to fall? Trying the slog sweep was Richardson. Thick edge. And they'll get a single. It went the opposite way of which he was intending.
So the Renegades have, after 6 overs with 3 for 47, they lost an over, a wicket in the 7th, the 8th, the 9th, the 10th, the 11th, the 12th. Lost a wicket every over.
For Dulux professional painters, choose Dulux.
6.
And this might be the 10th for scottpack.com.au, and it will be to long on. So the Renegades have slumped to another humiliating loss. They were chasing 210 and could only muster 80 inside 13 overs. The wickets fell at all 2 regular intervals for Scott Pack. Turn unpaid invoice into cash, scottpack.com.au. Oh, that is a sorry, sorry sight indeed. It was the highest score for this BBL season that the Thunder put up. And the Renegades fell 129 runs short. Liam Pickering, that's staggering.
Well, it was a very consistent performance by the Renegades tonight. Consistently bad bowling and shocking batting. That sums up having to chase 210 for victory, firstly, and then being bowled out for 80 on the same wicket that the team made 209.
129-run win for the Sydney Thunder. And we will get into our post-game show on Big Bash Nation for McDonald's. McRib and the El Macco are back at Macca's this summer. Take nothing away from a sensational performance from the Sydney Thunder. I mean, that is as dominant a display as we've seen, executed with bat and ball pickers. I think we're just in a bit of shock that the Renegades in 4 games have thrown up 2 absolute Barry Crockers. So we'll go through their card in just a moment. The stats wrap for Dulux professional painters. Choose Dulux.
They bowl well, the Thunder, but they batted brilliantly, so they deserve the win. It was hard watching.
So we'll take you through the card now. The first wicket to fall was Sean Marsh, and they were 1 for 13 when he went caught cutting bowled McAndrew for 3 off 7. Sam Harper went just 16 runs later. They were 2 for 29 when he was caught behind by hold off the bowling of Milne, and he went for 8 off 4. Finch was then the next to go, 3 for 33 when he was caught. Ferguson bowled Sanger for 20 off 17 deliveries. 4 for 53 when Bo Webster was caught and bowled by Tanvir Sanger, who got 3 wickets for the evening. Riley Rousseau went just 5 runs later. They were 5 for 58 when he was caught. Milne bowled Green for 17 off 9. Mohammed Nabi made 1 for 5, and when he was caught, Davies bowled Sanger. They were 6 for 60, the Renegades. Imad Wasim was gone very soon after that, 7 for 62 when he was caught. Sanger bowled Green, trying a reverse slog sweep situation when they were 6 for 62. That was 7 for 62 when he left. 8 for 69 when Will Sutherland was caught. Hales bowled Sams for 7 off 9. Zach Evans the next to go, caught cutting bowled Milne. They were 9 for 75 then. 10 for 80 when Pete Hatzoglu was just caught on that last delivery, or the second delivery of the Sanger over. And in the end, Tanvir Sanger ended up with 4 wickets in a sensational display of bowling for Tanvir Sanger, who I said 3 before, was actually 4 for 14 off 3.2. So his economy rate was 4.2 to be the pick of the bowlers. Milne was 2 for 21 off 3, 1 for 21 off 2 for Sams, 1 for 17 off 2 for Nathan McAndrew. Chris Green was very tidy, 2 for 7 off just 2 overs for him as well. So those are the stats of the run chase, proudly brought to you by Dulux Trade Centres. They needed 210 to win after the Sydney Thunder put together 8 for 209 off the back of 48 off 23 from the young gun Oliver Davies in just his second game. 5 sixes in a row he hit, and a boundary as well, a strike rate of 208. The platform was laid by the openers, 34 off 18 for Usman Khawaja, 35 off 21 for Alex Hales, and Ferguson was a steady hand, 31 off 31. Sam's 22 off 12 was important, and so too Nathan McAndrew's 20 off 5. 2 wickets for Hatzoglu and Richardson apiece, 1 apiece for Sutherland and Mohammed Nabi. Those are the stats that matter. Proudly brought to you by Dulux Trade Centre. So Liam Pickering, as we work our way through our awards for the evening, we are going to go to a tribute today. Legends of the game, Bill Laurie, Wazzy Macram, Justin Langer have all shared stories and memories of Dean Jones. We'll hear from Steve Smith, who spoke to our Test cricket team on Melbourne radio this morning, just before the start of play. Marnus Labuschagne spoke after that. And then the highlights of the first day of the Boxing Day Test. But a bit to work through from us first. The play of the day for you, please, for Drinkwise. Enjoy the game, Drinkwise.
The play of the day, I'm still going with Will Sutherland's catch. I think that was a superb moment in the game. It was a great catch. He had to run a long way. He had to dive full stretch, running with the flight of the ball. I don't think we've seen a better catch than that this summer.
It was a joy to watch, a joy to call, and long may it be replayed.
Yeah, that was my moment today for sure, because it didn't look like it. But gee, it was also hard to go past young Davies, and it's 5